Hello and welcome to episode 41 of our Ostriv Alpha 5.3 Let's Play. It's December of 1803 in our town. We have 1,976 residents. And last time we attempted, and I do mean attempted, to fix some of our supply issues, specifically with regard to these guys down here, our asheries, so we can supply our glassworks, so we can make window glass, so we can make more of our row houses. We were not really super successful in that regard. And there's a lot more we need to do in this episode to make sure that that problem continues to, well, at least somewhat approach being solved. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and get as much window glass imported as possible when the spring thaw happens. And then we're going to build a bunch of row houses, maybe get another 200 people in here. And hopefully that solves our problem with labor. It's what we're running into now. Is during most of the year there just aren't enough people available to be transporting things around. So to that end, got a couple of other ideas while we're waiting for winter to end here. And some of this stuff, these, I guess you could say, non-essential production buildings, could have their labor optimized with the seasonal hiring. So I had the idea that during harvest time, could turn some of these, like, for example, orchards, never end up having anybody really doing anything during the winter anyway, which is fine. And we only have them working in March and April, and then July and August. That's perfect. We're going to leave these like this. But there's probably a couple other production things that we can stick in here that are going to be a lot more efficient in the long run if we just have people fired in the harvest time and planting time, which theoretically is going to reduce our overall number of required jobs. And we don't have to have these wild swings. Like right now we have 75 open vacancies. We really, during the winter, should be about even. And during planting time, maybe we should have, I don't know, a couple dozen. But yet we just clearly do not have enough people at this point in time. And our fishing docks, right now, our on-season is 2 and our off-season is 1. And I think they're all set like that. We really don't need anybody here during off-season unless we're making dried fish, which a lot of these aren't. And honestly, we probably should have all of these be making dried fish. So why don't we go ahead and just set all of these up. We'll just go through, put a cap of 500 on all of these. Because this is the one thing I cannot set automatically. I have to do each one individually. Just make it real easy for everybody involved. Make them all the same. If I can get it to work correctly. I wish I could just type that number in. That would be so much more convenient. Alright, there we go. That's set. Almost. Come on. Oh, this makes me miss the days of having the sniper mode button on the mouse for doing stuff like that. Because then I wouldn't have to be twitching individual pixels across the screen. Anyway, that's all good to go. We have, I think, gotten most of these now. I say before finding another 5 that don't have it. All right, we gotta be getting there. Gotta be getting there. All right, good. Now what we can do, make sure this is all good to go. It's going to use a lot more salt, which means we're probably going to need to put another saltworks in, but this is good. Salted fish keeps for a very, very long time. I actually don't even know if it spoils at all, but the regular fish certainly does. So we're going to want to make sure we can do that. And this could possibly be a controversial thing, but I'm going to increase on season to 3 and then modify the season to not include November, because that's critical harvest time. And then we'll just see what happens with that. I'm going to set the labor limit to 4, apply to all. So now all 18 fishing docks have those same exact settings. So in the short run, we're actually increasing the number of jobs required, but should make these work a whole lot better. And there's still only 1 during those other times. So we can leave that alone. Wagon sheds. Just want to make sure these are all, yeah, we'd never ever want to have anybody ever fired from these. Way too important. And then other stuff like our warehouses, we don't have anybody working, which is kind of a problem, but we also don't have enough people to be working. So that's something we're just going to have to kind of get better at as time goes by. Now, these weavers' workshops, we're going to have off-season be March and April, and then October, November, because this is planting season. Well, it's the start of planting season at least, and this is the end of harvest season. So in the event that all that stuff goes awry, we'll at least have some extra people. We don't need people making clothes all year round. We don't really ever have the material all year round to do it anyway. So we'll do that, hit apply to all, and then come on over here to the tailor's workshop and do a very similar thing. And that should be good to go. Should help substantially. Now the fulling mills I'm not really so worried about because they only take 2 people each. I'm not going to reduce any of the staffing in the livestock buildings. That just seems like a really, really bad idea. Now our boat yards, of course, is impossible for us to even have anybody working in the winter anyway, so we can leave these guys alone. But boats need to be repaired, so I'm not going to mess with them at all. Shoemaker's workshop, I'm going to do the same thing here. Except off-season, I'm still going to have 1 person working there. Just take these laborers down to 4. So that should also help reduce the number of vacancies in theory, if you reduce the possibility of having a bunch of laborers for every single building. Tanneries, I'm not going to mess with because you can spoil the stuff really easily in there. And then saltworks. We should just go around all of these and make sure our beasts of burden are not dead, which they are not. And I'm not going to get rid of any of these guys because we actually need them. We've got a couple of houses that are actually just about finished. So let's go back into turbo mode here. Get these done. These are probably going to be filled with marriages, like pretty much everything that happens when you haven't built any houses for a while. Yep, there you go. That is a brand new marriage. They're going to do their thing. Performing calculations, of course. Happens a lot less when you run the game at 1 time speed than when you run it at 12 times, but that's what you get. So now we got this house here. Haven't watched him build a house in a while. So it's always nice to just take a second and appreciate the work that goes into this stuff. But yeah, once we have the ability to actually get stuff in, we'll be importing window glass, like I was saying earlier. And then we can also check our stock of things like stone. It's actually looking fine, but I'm going to go ahead and import another 10,000 because we are going to use it. And then lime, yeah, we are big time deficient on lime if we're going to be making that many new row houses. I'm going to get 7,000 of that. I meant to click clothing. Watch them build the house, he says, and then fills the screen with the UI for trading. That's fine. That's what happens. Alright, and that's all done, and that's another marriage as well. I imagine we have a very long queue for that. And then right here, of course, we have 2 cart parkings. And then that will complete that, and then we just have this one saddlery that we're adding so we can keep producing enough tack for our horses. And now what I think I'm going to do, even though we can't actually do anything with these people yet, I'm going to send a messenger over here. Oh, it's not even going to let me send the messenger at all? Wow, okay. Never mind then, we'll wait. But I've been told these people sell window glass, so that's who we'll be buying it from. And that's what we're going to get into when that time arises. So since we are already kind of waiting for stuff to happen, it's everybody's favorite time once again, and that is to put benches absolutely everywhere. Because we could never, ever have enough benches. So we'll just pick a couple of random spots to stick some. Places that we know they'll be used. And I think in front of this one we can put in some nice bushes. Cart parkings are done, so we'll go take care of that in a second. Alright, that ought to help. Head on over here to the cart parking. Order some carts. And there you go, back over here for the saddlery now as the game spends all of its time thinking. We already have a pretty decent amount of benches over here. I don't know that we really need to add too many more. Probably wouldn't hurt, but they aren't being completely filled up now, so I don't think we really need them. We just need to make sure that there aren't any areas that don't have any. And it looks like all of these have a bench. Some of them are being used. There's probably a couple places that could stand to get some more. But I think, yeah, that's pavement, so I would have to get rid of that. Pavement as well. Honestly, we probably could just put some in front of all of these other buildings here. Or at least on the backside. We have some landscaping we can do. That's probably something that's better suited for a time-lapse anyway. This is all farmland up here. This one tree, little sapling in between fence posts is a little irritating. Let's come back here to the saddlery. We're just going to copy our settings from the other one. Decrease the laborers to 4 because we don't ever need to have a billion of them. Yep, but now they'll be all good to go. And this tannery right here is making leather, so they'll be able to have easy access to supply for their production as well. Alright, halfway through February. And let's see. We haven't checked on our cows in a while in terms of sending some to the bull shed. Either the best idea or the worst idea, depending on your personal philosophy, but I like it. I think it's a fun thing for us to be doing. So we'll just send a couple of bulls from each of these. Just try to keep up a little bit. Oh yeah, see, look at all this. Doesn't have to be all of them at once, but we do need to make sure we're staying on top of this, or it's going to get very, very bull heavy very quickly. And no, we don't have to exclusively send them to the bull shed to be slaughtered. We can't just mark them for slaughtering here. But I don't know. There's just something about doing it that way that seems interesting to me. And it makes room for all the new ones that are going to get born in the spring. All right, so it's just about March. And now we have the bulls coming in here. So we'll just constantly have them rotated in, rotated out. And I think... Oh yeah, see, this is what happens. Is you end up with a ton of bulls and not a lot of milk cows. But if you protect all the milk cows, then before you know it, you're going to have no bulls and all the cows are going to die of old age, and then you waste your meat. So, I don't know. I kind of wish I could automate this a little better. That it is kind of irritating when you have, I don't know, 20 of these. But it is what it is. Cows dying of thirst. Yes, that is my favorite thing that happens in this game. Massive sarcasm. Things not working nicely. No, cows are dying of thirst while on their way to the pasture. Love to see that. Anyway. So how are we gonna how are we having cows dying of thirst in a pasture? That just should not be possible. That's unreasonable. I really and truly hate that. Alright, so now we can finally send over here our messenger and get some of those windows. I don't think they're going to be cheap, so we'll probably have to sell some stuff before we can actually, import anything. But once we do, we are going to build a lot of row houses. Like we have right here, 5 on a side and then a corner. Yeah, it's going to be something. Alright, window glass, 26 cents per, but I can only buy Oh, really? I could buy 1,342 for 348. Wow, okay. Yeah, absolutely, I'll buy that. All day long, I'll buy that. Apples, I don't have any to export, but I do have beer. So come on down. Get yourself some of that. Warm clothing. I have broadcloth for days. Come get some of that. And the rest of the stuff, raspberries, onions, etc. We actually don't have any raspberries, which is kind of surprising considering how many people are growing them. I have a lot of iron ore. I cannot sell it. Well, not to these people, at least. So I'm just, I guess, going to have to continually check out these guys to try and get some more window glass. Because that's one of those things we absolutely need. We only have 140. And if we're going to be building a whole bunch of these things, we're really going to need some. So we also need to make sure we're keeping track of who has a store. Right here. Okay, so we have 1. And we have 2. Okay, and that's full. That's full. So we'll need to put at least 2 more, probably 1 on each side. Maybe put them in this corner when we get there. And of course, Drakachii is back. They're going to buy some shoes like they always do. Fund our town's development. They want to sell us iron, but they won't buy any. Apples, yes. They seem to always go bad. But we'll sell them. As well as this stuff. Love this stuff. And before these guys leave, we need to buy mead. We need to buy a lot of mead. Not 48,000, not any of that, but let's buy... I think I can buy 15,000 and be alright. So we're always running out of that stuff. We don't have any honey either. That seems kind of broken. Alright, I'm gonna buy... See if I can buy 5,000 sallow. I need to buy... I really should be buying dried fish. But a lot of this stuff I just do not have the money for. Alright, so that ought to set us up pretty well. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to pause the game. And we're going to go on a row house building spree. Because currently we have 96 open vacancies. We just bought some foodstuffs, so we shouldn't really run into that kind of a problem. But we really need to be getting some more people in. So that is what we'll be doing. I am going to try and get these to match up kind of alternatingly for the roofing style. Not entirely, but it is nice when they match, I think. So we'll try to keep these in the same general dimensions as what they're supposed to be. That's 1. I like when they alternate like this. It makes it a whole lot easier to keep track of what you are actually wanting to be doing here. And these in the corner are 3 stories, yes. We'll probably have most of this side be 3 stories as well, while most of this side will be 2 stories and then some of that side. Of course, in the middle, we'll get the one with the arch. The not an arch. We'll just get these all hooked up together, and then we're going to have a massive time lapse to build all these. And then when we come out of it, it should, if our builders are capable of doing their job, should be a very nice situation for us in terms of population. But again, we'll see. Things take time, and it very well could be well into the next year by the time that's all done. Alright, so that is 4 on the inside. And then we'll do... Actually, no, this last one I said was going to be the store, so let's do that. And we're going to get into a situation where we have to remove trees, which of course is going to take time, but if we preload most of that, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Alright, here comes the corner. And that is the roof decoration we wanted, so that is excellent news. We'll just match these up like we always do. Make that a little bit bigger. Alright, cool. So that is an entire side You have 5 in the middle and then 1 on the corner. And then we will continue. Put the other store. Make sure I can get the other roof design. Yeah, we'll put this guy in the corner here. I could make that a little bit longer. There we go. Alrighty. And now we can just keep on keeping on. Go all the way down. Just like so. Make sure these are all... Wow, it really wanted me to make that last side pretty huge, didn't it? Alright, so now I'm going to, I think, make this one the 3-story. Yes. With the arch in the middle. Make sure this lines up roughly. Again, it doesn't really matter. I sure like making these perfect squares, don't I? Got like 2.5 of them over there. And have another one over here, because this is a very big area of the map we have yet to develop. And I think it's going to be nice to have a big population mass right around here, because we'll be able to put some other production stuff. But yeah, that's all looking good. Make sure this is straight. It is pretty close. Nothing that's going to be life-altering if it's not correct. And then right here, come in with this guy. I think I might have gotten my alignment slightly off, but it's fine. We don't need to really be that worried about it. We'll put in this guy. I want this to be alternate. There we go. Now, if I did my lining up correctly, that should be just about what we want. I'm going to make this side a little shorter. I think that should be fine. And then we'll come in with our corner. I'm going to make him the... there we go. That's the one I want. Alright, and then using our amazing powers of laser-guided imagery here, which don't really exist, we're going to leave that like so. Alright, so that has the ornamental roof structure. This has the regular old boring style. Not that it really matters. But this one in the middle... No, I guess we could just make it meet up. So that's fine how it already is. Now, I imagine some of you have already done the math in your head and figured out that we are not going to have enough window panes to actually complete this as it stands right now. And you are correct. So we are going to have to re-up on our window pane imports at some point during this, which I will do my best to keep an eye out for. And we'll see what happens. But now, okay, I guess previous one. No, I want this to be the other design. There we go. Cool. Oh, wow, look how close we are on that. But the good thing about matching up between two different sides is all you have to do is just click each corner to make sure it fits in. And I think that's going to work out great. So this is a gargantuan disaster amount of row house construction. But I was not kidding when I said we're going to add a lot of people. So do the math with me, kids. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 row houses. Some 2-story, some 3-story. On average, these should hold about 4.5 families apiece. Say conservatively 60 families. That's a lot of people. That's going to be, if they're not all marriages, that is. If they're all immigrants coming in, then that's going to be at least, I don't know, at least 180, at least 200. Because the average family is going to have at least one child. Some will have 2, some will have grandparents. So it could be anywhere from 200 to 400 new residents coming in for this. And I don't really care to do the individual math on what materials we're going to need. But suffice to say, the most expensive row house is going to require... Do they really all require about 1,000 stone? Oh, that's for the foundation. Duh. So 15,000 stone, we have that. Probably an average of about 8,000 wood. Yeah, we will have that because they're going to have to cut down trees and they're going to have induced demand and all that stuff. Bricks are going to be the tricky one because I think our average cost in bricks is going to be about 10,000. And we currently only have 65,000. But they're going to keep making those. And it's going to take them a long time to build these anyway. So I think our production should catch up just fine on that. Obviously, sand is infinite. Lime, average of about 900-ish a piece. And we just bought a ton of that, so we're going to be perfectly fine on lime. I might try and buy some more, but we should be okay. And then window glass, of course, say an average of around just shy of 200. We're going to have a problem with that, but like I said, we already addressed that. And we're just going to have to hope that we can make some more, or it's going to be a bad time. But I think we should be in good shape. I'm going to unpause. We have a massive, massive amount of stuff coming in and leaving the city. So we'll see what happens. It's April. We should be fine. Should be fine. So I'll tell you what we'll do is, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of one of these big top downs, but then you lose all the details. So we'll just have this thing follow around the outside, and then we'll be all good to go. But first, before you say anything, the wells are not looking fantastic. So let's put a couple more in, because you know it's going to be a problem if we don't. So I'm just going to put in a couple on either side of each of these little cut-throughs here. And we're going to have them build all of those before they build any of the row houses. And then we should be in good shape, except there's already a bench here, which good for benches, but not for this one because it's going to go bye-bye, so we can put a well there. Don't worry, we'll put plenty of other benches in just as soon as that's taken care of. And since we already have the two wells over here, I'm not going to get rid of these benches and replace them. But it is very important that we have all the rest of this stuff taken care of. So I'll go ahead and get this rolling here. Get these wells in place, allow them time to fill before we have all these people come in all at once. We do already have the essentials, well, most of them, in these two stores. And some food, so we should be all right. I'm not going to have the camera zoom in on the wells, so we can actually do a couple more things while we're waiting for these wells to get built, and then come back when this is all good to go. And one thing we should be doing is checking our reforestation areas. Those are good, but I think the ones up here, yeah, we should have been on top of this. We need to plant these two again and make sure we don't let them go so long without at least checking in on them. And I have no idea how the barber surgeries work or don't work. It's honestly kind of a mystery at this point. Oh boy, it sure is a good thing that we checked in with everything here, because we have filled every single grave plot. So this is what we can do instead, is put in a whole bunch of grave markers so I don't have to look at the tally in the upper left-hand corner of how many bodies I've got waiting to go in the ground. That's just not fun. But we'll get this taken care of. And hopefully that lasts us through the duration of our time-lapse here. And we're able to get a lot of people in and have a good time. So I doubt we'll have more than, I don't know, 15-ish people die, but sometimes these things just happen. And I don't think I can put another one there. Now, who is this? All right, they are demanding potash. I was like, man, we could buy some from them. But no. That's fine. We don't have any buckwheat, really. Lime. I think we're okay on lime, but I am going to go ahead and buy another 2,000 just to be safe, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, we already had somebody fill this thing up. You know what that means. Besides, we still have 4 wells to make. Let's just do this whole thing again. Put it in another row of the world's most densely packed Ostriv graveyard, I guess. And another advantage to doing this before we start this time-lapse is I can go to our other riverbound friends and ask for some more window panes before we start, because at that point it will have probably been about a month or 2 since then, and they'll have produced some more that we can go ahead and purchase. Because the fewer times I have to intervene during one of these, the better. I think that's a lot more interesting to watch. Anyway, that should be... Please do not crash. That should be enough burial plot markers for now. I really, really hope this is fine. Okay, good. Alright, wells are getting completed. They look so funny just out there in the middle of nowhere, don't they? Well, we just have these last 2 and then we'll be all good to go. So yeah, let's go back to our world map. Send another messenger down here. Oh, they haven't imported our mead yet. All of it, at least. And we had another messenger come and see. None of these people want to buy... Ah, yes. They're trying to buy iron. Well, guess what? We're going to sell it. Come on down. It's not a whole lot of money, but it is something. Horseshoes, yes, we'll sell 500 to you. Why not make a little bit of extra cash? Flax, oh yes, please, please, please buy some flax. Even though we are using it. Wheat-wise, actually some of the stuff, let's buy our window glass, only 255. Well, that's unfortunate, but we will definitely make use of it. These guys want to buy some more beer? Come on down. No reason not to. Now, unfortunately, there's not really much of anything else we can sell these guys, but I think we're going to be okay. So now we have this last stone well being constructed, and then we'll be all good to go, and we'll start our time lapse, and hopefully come out on the other side not a year and a half later, but with another maybe 300 or 400. All right, so let's get in position, get you nice and zoomed in, and we'll see you on the other side. All right. Well, that took forever. Over an hour. Real life just sitting here staring at the screen, moving the camera. But we have our whole cube here all done, all ready to go. Now, we do have a couple things in the store that we could be adding, but we haven't quite gotten there yet. At any rate, this is now done, and we have 2,179. And there's still over 100 open vacancies. So clearly, I don't know. We're never gonna have enough people in this town. I swear, because we've got 200 more than we did the beginning of the episode, and we still have the same amount of open vacancies. So I don't know. I think it's made up. And we did have to import things a couple times. Guess what? We still don't have enough potash. We still don't have enough bark. No matter what. Even though we have so many people working as laborers and all that stuff. Like, you can just take a look at our population stats. We've got a lot of young people. Oh, it's actually pretty linear. Oh, this was when we had all that die-off happen. But yeah, we have 480-ish laborers. And we have not even twice that many actually filling jobs. And we still with almost 500 laborers, still cannot keep things supplied. Still do not have enough bodies to do the work. So it's fine. I don't know why it says 22% unemployment. That's insane. That just does not seem even real at all. But hey, what can I say? We accomplished something. I don't know exactly what we accomplished, but we sure accomplished something. So now is a good time to go around and check on all of our farms and see how our oxen are doing, because I did see a couple notifications that we had 2 die of thirst. Oh yeah, this entire... Oh, because the storage is full of barley. Okay. Well, that would explain why. That was the thing. Alright, so... I think we probably could use another warehouse for barley. I don't know if we have it stored anywhere else. I think we do up here somewhere. Yeah, we clearly don't need 5,000 hops stored up here. Man, that is that's a bit much. So let's do 7,500 and 2,500 here. And then we'll do the same down on this side behind this one. If I can click on the correct one. Because we should be having enough hops to do most of this stuff. Man, that is just... I should have anticipated that the storage was going to be full, and that's why it's been kind of a disaster. But I did not think it was going to be that bad, so we'll probably have to fix that next time, because I don't think they're going to be able to get that out of here before we're done with today's video. But we'll just take a quick look-see. Oh, storage is full. What's it with this one? Oh, it's more barley again. Am I going to have to even make more beer? Is that what this is? Alright, well, I think we've been to all these now. So clearly, we need to have another storage for barley. And we have over here another brewing area. So let's check and see. Yep, it's another one of these things. Except this one actually has almost 3,000 hops in there. I think we can probably chill with the wheat and make that into barley storage. That's probably beneficial. We need to put some more storage in here, but that can be a thing for next episode. And I think at this point we've pretty much accomplished everything I wanted to today, even if we still have over 100-something vacancies. Now, it is harvest season, so I understand that does affect some of that stuff sometimes. But man, I cannot believe we built all these row houses and we still are having problems filling jobs. Oh boy. And we filled up all of our grave plots too. So I don't really know what else we can even do. Oh yeah, now this is rearing its ugly head that I didn't line these things up correctly. Oh well, it's fine. We'll put a couple more of these guys in while we're in the process of finishing out today's video. Now, I don't know why it's not showing me the outline of the rest of this, but that's fine. If it works, it works. We'll just have to be a little careful. Because now we can't see the boundary lines or anything. Alright, so now we're at the point of the playthrough where we've pretty much done all there is to do outside of just continuing to scale. So I want to ask you guys, if you've watched 41 episodes of this, first of all, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. But if you've watched this much, clearly you have some sort of opinion about how the game is supposed to be played or things you'd want to see or whatever. So if you have any ideas or anything that you want to see me do or things we might want to investigate about the game, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to see, because we are very quickly coming up on pretty much the reasonable and logical end to all of this. I do want to try and get to 3,000 population. It might involve doing a whole lot more of these row houses. But pretty much all we have left to build on is this corner right here, and then the space behind this farm. This is probably going to end up being another farm. I think we pretty much already decided that's what that's going to be allocated for. But we have space back here to do some other stuff. put another couple of these big row house squares or something else to that effect. A bunch of houses with gardens, because we haven't really built many of those on this side of the map at all. It's just been row houses with the occasional garden houses. Yeah, if you want to see something, let me know. I am very interested in your opinions. As always, I do read every comment. I can't always respond. Don't always have the time to get to those, but I do read them, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time to watch these, as always. So, as always, big thanks to the Beard Boosters making all of this stuff possible with their contributions, and the support that they provide helps me to continue spending this much time making these videos and put in some extra work outside of these videos to make some cool stuff that hopefully we're going to be able to start seeing in the coming weeks. So again, big thanks to those people. If you want information on that, there's some links in the description for you, but please do not ever feel obligated. I am just glad that you're here, and I'm thankful that we get to spend a little bit of time together when these videos go up. But yeah, that's all we got for this one. We'll see you back again next week for more Ostriv, and of course this weekend we have Drowned Nightmare Mode in Timberborn, and then City Skylines, and some fun stuff coming up next week, as well as we finish up our Timberborn vanilla series and start a new one in that game. So hope to see you there. But whatever you're doing, have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you next one. Bye-bye.